Good evening, everyone. I now call to order the special session meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs on Tuesday, September 14, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. And roll call, please.
Mayor Alahouzes.
Here.
Vice Mayor Terapany.
Here.
Commissioner Sieber.
Here.
Commissioner Carr.
Here.
Commissioner Donovan.
Here.
I'd like to remind to everyone that the purpose of tonight's meeting is to get input, public input regarding the fiscal year 2019 and 2020 budget. The first item on the agenda is a resolution 2019-26, adopting the final millage rate for tax year 2019. Mr. Harry, if you please review the procedures required by the state law.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Ron Herring, Finance Director. Florida Statute 200.065 sets the procedures for the adoption of the millage rate and budget. The final millage rate must be approved before the final budget. The final millage rate for tax year 2019 is 5.37, a reduction of 0.05 from the previous year's 5.42. The final millage rate of 5.37 is 4.24% above the rollback rate of 5.1518. The rollback rate is a rate that would provide the same dollar amount of revenues as the previous year. The increase over the rollback rate is being used to fund salary and benefit increases and operating increases, and that's into my presentation on the millage rate.
Thank you. City Attorney, would you please read the resolution?
Resolution 2019-26, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, adopting the final millage rate for the tax year 2019. Whereas a public hearing was held on September 17th, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. to adopt a final millage rate, now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, that the ad valorem millage rate for tax year 2019 of the City of Tarpon Springs is hereby established at 5.3700, a 4.24% increase over the rollback rate of 5.1518. The city staff is hereby directed to notify all pertinent governmental agencies of the provisions hereof as required by law. That has been a reading of Resolution 2019-26 in full.
Thank you. Mr. Licorice, do you have a staff report? No?
No.
Okay, thanks. In the audience, we have the Vice Chair of the Budget Advisory Committee, Mr. McCloy. I want to thank you. I want to thank all the members of the Budget Advisory Committee for analyzing the budget. He gave us a good budget this year again. Thank you very much. We are now going to the public comments on this item. Any comments? We hear none. Are there any commission comments? Commissioner Sieber.
Thank you. Sorry I could not be here at the last meeting due to an accident, but I think that my statements were read, and I just wanted to reiterate that to me it doesn't make sense to decrease the millage rate. It doesn't make common sense to me when we couldn't budget or had to reduce many items on the budget. And I feel that most of our residents, from talking to them, worry more about sidewalks and playgrounds and potholes and things like that instead of paying $5 less on taxes. So I just want to reiterate again that there were facade grants, total facade grants not improved, and several items that were reduced or not budgeted because we decided to decrease the budget rate, and I appreciate, your budget advisory committee. I was on it for a while, and I know how thoroughly you go through it, and I took responsibility for that too at one time. But I feel like we ignored you because you did recommend that we not increase the millage rate. Out of respect for your board and what you do, I feel that we should be listening to you as well, because I know you know more than I do, right? Most of you on that board are either financiers or people in the banking or economy or have had experience with budgets. So, we did not take your advice on decreasing or keeping the budget, the rate the way it is, and thought that it should not be decreased. So I appreciate your knowledge and what you do, and I'm sorry that we didn't take your advice, but I am against decreasing the millage rate. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Well, I'd like to answer that one. And I want to say that I'm very happy that we're able to reduce the millage from 5.42 to 5.37. It's not much, but it is something. And let's keep in mind that the property value this year has increased 6.44%. That's a big increase. The least we can do is give a little bit back to the people. And I think with that, we also have a budget that is $64 million. We have capital improvements of $11.2 million. So we're going to be doing a lot of work, a lot of projects in Tarpon Springs. I think this little reduction of the millage is not going to hurt anything. Actually, it's going to help the people to a little bit, give them a little bit of money in their pocket. I think it's a good thing, and I'm supporting that. If we have no other commission comments, I will ask for a motion.
Move to approve resolution 2019-26, adopting the final millage rate for tax year 2019.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Donovan,
Yes.
Commissioner Carr,
Yes.
Commissioner Sieber,
No.
Vice Mayor Terapany,
Yes.
Mayor LaHousas.
Yes, thank you. We are now going to Resolution 2019-27 is adopting the final budget for the fiscal year 2019-2020. City Attorney, if you please read the resolution.
Resolution 2019-27, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, adopting the final budget for fiscal year 2019-2020. Whereas a public hearing was held on September 17th, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. to adopt a final budget, now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, that the City of Tarpon Springs annual budget for fiscal year 2019-2020 is hereby finally adopted. The city staff is hereby directed to notify all pertinent governmental agencies of the revisions hereof as required by law. That is a reading of Resolution 2019-27 in full.
Thank you. Do we have a staff report? No?
Sir.
Okay. Are there any public comments on this item? Here none. Are there any commission comments? Commissioner Carr.
Thanks, Mayor. Wanted to just, I know I touched on this briefly during the presentation, during the Ron's presentation during the budget. To me, it's something I think that the city should really look into further in next year's budget is the administration charges that are being charged to the enterprise funds. This year, it went up to about $1.9 million coming from the stormwater, coming from the water and sewer funds, and also the sanitation fund, totaling $1.9 million. My understanding is that there's also cities locally that do this as well. Do I understand there's administration charges that need to be paid for? Yes, but I think it's a bit excessive when we get to that number of 1.9 million. So I would suggest next year that the city look at potentially lowering the water rates. And then if the city wants to fund the general fund with dollars, we should look at it as a millage rate funding, not from leveraging the enterprise funds and charging additional costs to water bills and sanitation bills to the residents. I just think there's a transparency issue there overall. So with that, I'm going to support this year. I think the staff did a great job putting it together overall with all the different projects and all the different departments. And I know it's one of the larger budgets the city of Tarpon Springs has ever seen. So there's a lot of great projects moving forward, and I'm looking forward to 2020. Thank you.
Any other commission comment? I need a motion.
Motion to approve
Sec-
resolution 2019-27, adopting the final budget for fiscal year 2019-2020.
Second.
And roll call.
Commissioner Donovan,
Yes.
Commissioner Carr,
Yes.
Commissioner Sieber,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Terapany.
Yes.
Mayor LaHousas.
Yes, thank you. Well, that concludes the special session and is adjourned at 6:39 p.m. And we are now going to the Community Redevelopment Agency meeting. I now call to order the Community Redevelopment Agency meeting of the City of Tarpon Springs on Tuesday, September 17th, 2020 at 6:40 p.m. And roll call.
Chair LaHousas,
Here?
Vice Chair Terapany.
Here.
Commissioner Sieber.
Here.
Commissioner Carr,
Here.
Commissioner Donovan.
Here.
Okay, again, the purpose of tonight's meeting is to get input, public input regarding the fiscal year 2019-2020 CRA budget. Item number 1 on the agenda is Resolution 2019-02, adopting the final budget for the fiscal year 2019-2020. Mr. Herrick, you want to review the procedures required by the law?
Yes, the final CRA budget for fiscal year 2020 is $491,702, a decrease of $9,791 or 2% under the adopted budget for fiscal year 2019, and that's my presentation on the CRA budget.
Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, you please read the resolution.
Resolution 2019-02, a resolution of the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, adopting the final budget for fiscal year 2019-2020. Whereas a public hearing was held on September 17, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. to adopt a final budget, now therefore be it resolved by the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Tarpon Springs, Florida, that the Community Redevelopment Agency's annual budget for fiscal year 2019-2020 is hereby finally adopted. The city staff is hereby directed to notify all pertinent governmental agencies of the provisions hereof as required by law. That has been a resolution, or that have been a reading of Resolution 2019-02 in full.
Thank you. Mr. Licorice, do you have staff report?
No, sir.
Okay. Are there any public comments on this item? Here none. Are there any commission comment? The chair will entertain a motion
Motion approved.
Second.
and roll call.
Commissioner Donovan?
Yes.
Commissioner Carr?
Yes.
Commissioner Sieber,
Yes.
Vice Chair Terapany?
Yes.
Chair LaHousas?
Yes, thank you. Well, that concludes the CRA agenda, and it's adjourned at 6:41 p.m. Good night.